The birth of the Savings and Credit Cooperative Organizations, commonly known as SACCOs, has restored confidence in the rural population that now feels has a great contribution to make towards the development of the country. The institutions under the fourth pillar of the government program, Prosperity for All, is looked at as the linking factor to the other three. These pillars are production and productivity, value addition, community information access, and the rural financial support, which is supervised by the Minister of State for Microfinance, Ruth Nankabira.
Rural financial support is the blood that runs the whole system. After giving the people information on how to get rich, they will ask you, where do we get the money from? So the policy guideline, which I am monitoring, is about mobilizing societies to come together and agree to cooperate and form their own banks at the sub-county level, through which government can give loans which are affordable and accessible.
The SACCO model adopted by government in 2005 to transform the rural poor is changing the lives of people to meet the challenges posed by competitiveness and the desire to improve on household incomes. Testimonies from members of the SACCOs across the country reveal positive living with no regrets on the trend their lives are taking.
Ingini mimi nafanya hoteli hiyo, ingini mimi nilipata pesa kwa wao linunulia ndani yake dongo eka 2. Iko kwa main road ya Angalo, Warombo road. 2 acres vile mimi natoa pesa kwa fasi hiyo mimi linunulia, ndio hiyo ni zawadi yangu.
Namba aripesa bonfuna bwama mfiri munza kusavinga. Paka niyo langanyo ni chimtwalo chinana. Now withdrawing. Natano mbika simple structure kuliyo ni lilo melief. Liye hall.
Akwanga banyine yoboro bwanje nabuguze bakwata miliyoni n'ikindi nirukanga tandari bakwi. Nakomba shija baba pesete. Bakampa miliyoni n'ikishatu. Miliyoni 3 kunazire aha miliyoni nasaba mushanju. Emene shkwati natere shikonde.
Kubanga ffe tuzadde buzazi abaana baffe basoma kati twabateeka mu bisulo bwe twali tusuubira nti baligenda kowa mu kisulo. Omwami wange waba taliiwo sente ebaawo ey'ekikyala gy'omanyi enzibizi osanga omwana akoze eki agenze ku ssomero ate tutuula kubanga nze mba natunze ettanulu yange ntuula sente ezo omwami wange nzimuteeraawo ne tubala.
The rural population is now ready to take the world around them to their own advantage towards redeeming themselves from the agonies of poverty. Started by the members themselves, SACCOs have reduced the distance covered by households to the financial service provider, minimized the cost of financial service delivery, as well as ensured that financially marginalized groups are conveniently served.
3 key things: accessibility, affordability, and product diversity were the fundamental causes or reasons why government had to adopt the rural financial services strategy. Rural because it was felt that it was the rural communities that were not getting the financial services. Of course, that is not said there was no urban poverty. But to call it rural finance was basically to emphasize that there was a need for financial services to go deeper to the communities. And we know very well that a bigger percentage of our communities live in the rural areas.
The International Fund for Agriculture Development, IFAD, is one of the development partners that have played a major role in supporting the strengthening of SACCOs in the country.
In order to improve access to financial services, there's a need for strong, well-functioning, supervised SACCOs. So we agreed with the government and we restructured our program in order to be able to help them partially achieve some of their objectives for outreach with the SACCO network.
Driven by its vision, Prosperity for All, government developed interventions such as the Rural Financial Services Program under the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning to provide capacity building grants to SACCOs in Uganda.
The program is helping SACCOs to establish themselves, and the program is giving grants. It's giving grants to these SACCOs. It is giving grants for paying even the staff salaries. It is giving grants for training. It is giving grants for equipment to assist the SACCOs to be able to operate. It is helping them to improve on their working premises where they are staying. It is giving assistance in terms of rent for a certain period of 2 years. So this is the boost that the government is giving to the SACCOs. And on their own, they would find it difficulty to do some of these investments because they are very costly.
The Rural Financial Services Program partnered with the Uganda Cooperatives and Savings Credit Union to develop the SACCOs and ensure that the support reaches the intended beneficiaries. This partnership has led to the support of at least 541 SACCOs out of the targeted 1,085 distributed in all the sub-counties across the country.
In this project of government goes on strengthening, formation, and carrying out outreach. These are the areas which we got contrary with government to see that we do help SACCOs in that area. And the government had focused up to 1085 sub-counties with a view that we shall put up strong, viable institutions which are equal to 1085 as the number of sub-counties mentioned. But of course, before government thinking, there are already existing SACCOs. SACCOs in the country are close to 2,000, which are viable. There are more which are registered, there are more than that. But those which are active are about 2,000, holding a portfolio of 51 billion in terms of savings and 64 billion in terms of loan. So already government, by governments coming to cause the intervention, these institutions are already existing. The only difference is the majority of these institutions are urban-based. That's the only difference. But when you go down to the rurals, you find there are quite few which are strong on their own. So our working with government is in the way that we move a little bit from urban and get closer to the rural people and see how we can bring them up, bring the message of the rural put together.
To ensure the survival of these SACCOs, the government has developed a mechanism through which they are all fully facilitated to achieve their intended impact on the population. The benefiting SACCOs have since then received safes, motorcycles, and other office equipment like filing cabinets from the government. The government also established